Can we talk for a second about the fact that Donald Trump is flying around right now in Jeffrey Epstein's former jet, and Donald Trump is campaigning on the Epstein plane? It seems like a pretty big deal, right? So the tail number of the plane has changed, but the serial number, which stays with the hull, has not changed. And so we're able to see that it is indeed the same exact plane. Here's Jeffrey Epstein in front of his Gulfstream 550 Aero. Here's Donald Trump. He's now put Trump 2024 over the same Gulfstream that Jeffrey Epstein used to traffic women in. Folks, let's just take a look at the data so we can see it for ourselves. You'll see that Jeffrey Epstein's plane had a different tail number than what it currently is. But as you take a look at the serial number, take a look right here at the serial numbers and you'll compare them. The serial number 5173, compare it to the serial number right now, 5173, and you'll see that it is the same Gulfstream 550 plane. You put them side by side, undisputed, same plane. So what happened is that Epstein's plane sold in 2020 to a friend of Donald Trump's and a Trump donor. It sold for $16.9 million in July of 2020. The New York Post wrote about it there, and apparently this is how Donald Trump has now gotten his hands on that plane, and Trump is flying around in that plane. As this one account says, the tail number N212JE, the same plane belonged to Jeffrey Epstein, which was purchased by a friend of Donald Trump's. The same account said, is anyone going to ask Donald Trump why he was flying on Jeffrey Epstein's plane on Saturday and campaigning in it, and why it now has the Trump Vance names on it, or it says Trump 2024. We're going to call it out and we're going to question it here at the MeidasTouch Network, and we're going to just show people the facts and people can assess for themselves. And I think that Donald Trump is flying around in Epstein's jet currently. Just think about it. There's a lot of G550s out there that you could have got. That's the one that you want to use. But look, I think it opens up the Pandora's box, and we should talk about their relationship. We should talk about the fact that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were very close friends. And for those who watch the MeidasTouch Network, you know that we've done our digging on their relationship, and we continue to just talk about it and report the facts. So let's report the facts, shall we? Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were very close friends in the 1990s, and they were very close friends in general. They both lived in West Palm Beach. And Donald Trump said about Jeffrey Epstein in 2002, that's a direct quote that Donald Trump gave to New York Magazine, that Jeffrey Epstein is a great guy who likes women on the younger side. Donald Trump meant girls, but Donald Trump said liked women on the younger side. Now, one of the areas where Jeffrey Epstein recruited from and trafficked women was from Mar-a-Lago. Case in point, Virginia Giuffre. Virginia Giuffre was working at Mar-a-Lago. She was previously homeless. She then worked at Mar-a-Lago, and Ghislaine Maxwell, who did the trafficking for Jeffrey Epstein, found Virginia Giuffre in Mar-a-Lago, and she said, I'd like you to meet a wealthy person who I work for, and the rest was history, and that's how she was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, you go through the photos of the fact that Donald Trump brought his kids around Jeffrey Epstein. There's like a photo right here. Donald Trump hung out with Jeffrey Epstein a ton of times. They frequently partied together. You see that photo right there, the infamous photo. And Donald Trump is on Jeffrey Epstein's phone logs. Donald Trump is on Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs. Jeffrey Epstein brought a woman of indeterminate age on Donald Trump's plane, which was previously reported during the Ghislaine Maxwell sex trafficking trial. A person testified that when she was 14 years old, Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump. throughout the Epstein files, Donald Trump's name appears on the list over and over again. Donald Trump is in the depositions of women who were trafficked by Epstein, who talk about how Epstein said, I got to call my friend Donald Trump and let's land the plane. The plane, I guess it could be the plane that Trump's on now, but land the plane in Atlantic City to go to one of Trump's casinos. It may have been an earlier plane at the time to go and meet Donald Trump in Atlantic City. So you see this over and over again. I mean, look, what did Donald Trump say before Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal trial, or while her trial was taking place, when the press asked Donald Trump, what do you want to say to Ghislaine Maxwell, who Donald Trump was friends with? Donald Trump wished Ghislaine Maxwell well. He said, I wish her well. I'll just put it in just so you see how Donald Trump said it. Here, play this clip.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
The best bacon, the best steak, the best chicken, the best salmon you'll ever eat. It's not going to come from the grocery store. It's going to come from the family farm and independent Alaskan fishermen. And now you can get it when you join the Moink movement today. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, and sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to your door. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did, and as a result, Moink meat tastes like it should because the family farm does it better. And the Moink difference is a difference that you can actually taste. Unlike the supermarket, Moink gives you the total control over the quality and source of your food. You choose the meat delivered in every box, like ribeyes to chicken breast to pork chops to salmon fillets and much more. Plus, you can cancel it at any time. And I love that Moink is helping save rural America. Join the Moink movement today, and you'll never turn back. Shark Tank host Kevin O'Leary called Moink's bacon the best bacon he's ever tasted, and Ring Doorbell founder Jamie Siminoff jumped at the chance to invest in Moink. Plus, they guarantee you'll say, oink, oink, I'm just so happy I got Moinked. I know I do, and you will too. Keep American farming going by signing up at moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch right now, and listeners of our show get free hot rolls in your first box. It's the best hot rolls you'll ever taste for a limited time. It's spelled MOINK box.com/MeidasTouch. That's moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch. One more time, moinkbox.com/MeidasTouch. Yeah, and so now in 2024, Donald Trump is flying around in the Epstein jet, campaigning in the Epstein jet. Same serial number, same airplane, and you see all of the connections there. How about when Donald Trump went on Howard Stern and talked about how one of the reasons he owned beauty pageants is because as the owner, he would inspect girls naked. And he said that they'd allow him to inspect them naked. No, they didn't. It was without consent because he would say, I'm the owner of the pageants. Here, play this clip.
Well, you could also say as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
And by the way, there were numerous women who came forward who talked about Donald Trump engaging in that behavior. Let me just show you a few right here. Play this clip.
Is it normal to see men in dressing rooms at pageants and the owner of a pageant?
No. The director of the North Carolina, South Carolina, Louisiana, and Alabama pageants, it's very much a family atmosphere. She doesn't even go backstage when the girls are getting ready. Only the female chaperones are allowed backstage in the dressing rooms with the girls. I've never had an experience where there were men or directors or anything like that walking back in the dressing rooms.
Yeah. As I understand, there you have an experience of something that happened the night before the pageant?
Well, not the night before the pageant, but when we were in New York City on the media tour, they were doing a book launch at Trump Towers for the Universal Beauty book, and they had a bunch of former Miss USAs and Miss Universes and all 51 of us, and we did the red carpet, and that was tons of fun. And then they lined us all up, and Trump went down the line, and he shook your hand and, looked you over, looked you up and down, head to toe, and was just checking everybody out.
And you thought you felt?
I felt very dirty. It was very creepy. It's kind of like when you're at a bar and a creepy guy is checking you out. That was the experience for me.
Here's Tasha Dixon, Miss Arizona 2001, talking about what Donald Trump would do. Play this clip.
He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked.
As Miss Arizona 2001, Tasha Dixon competed in the Miss USA pageant. Donald Trump owned the contest along with Miss Universe and Miss Teen USA for 19 years.
Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked changing into our bikinis. To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him.
And Dixon has strong opinions about what she thinks were Trump's motivations.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump owned the pageant for the reason to utilize his power to get, around beautiful women.
Dixon, who lives in West Hollywood, was 18 at the time.
Who do you complain to? He owns the pageant. So there's no one to complain to. Everyone there works for him.
The year she competed, the theme was empowering women. And after hearing recent audio of Trump talking about women, she decided to speak out.
I miss Arizona, so I veer more on the conservative side. But I just like to choose what's right.
This is what Donald Trump said about Lindsay Lohan when she was either 17 or she had just turned 18. I think she had just turned 18, right around that time period, where Donald Trump's talked about having sex with her because she had mental health issues, which Donald Trump said was more of a reason why he wanted to have sex with her. Here, play this clip.
What do you think of Lindsay Lohan now?
I think she's hot.
There's something there, right?
Yes.
But you have to like freckles. I've seen a close-up of her chest.
Yes.
And a lot of freckles. Are you into freckles?
If the father's a wreck like the way he is,
right.
You imagine the sex with this troubled...
Yeah, you're probably right. She's probably deeply troubled and therefore great in bed.
Back in the day...
How come the deeply troubled women,
yes,
deeply troubled,
right,
they're always the best in bed? If for some reason what I said is true, I mean, they're just unbelievable.
I can tell from the...
You don't want to be with them for the long term, but for the short term, there's nothing.
Then there's this report from The Guardian, which talked about these yacht parties that Donald Trump would attend in connection with his beauty pageants. His pageant was called, one of them was hosting the Look of the Year competition. These were the girls right here. And Donald Trump, The Guardian talked about at least one party Donald Trump attended on a yacht, the Spirit of New York, where men old enough to be these girls' grandparents would grind on the girls. And Donald Trump was apparently there. Donald Trump posted photos of himself with the girl. So you see a photo right there. Donald Trump put this in a video recently. So you go through, go through all of the facts about their relationship and friendship between Trump and Epstein. We created this video right here using the famous Kendrick Lamar song, Not Like Us, but just to take a look at the video we made here. Play.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
What does Tiffany have of Marla's?
She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this.
well, you know, we're going to be fearless in our coverage here at the MeidasTouch Network. And Donald Trump is using Epstein's plane right now. We're going to talk about it. You should share that information with people. I mean, creepy and disgusting is that. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.